Welcome. Welcome, welcome to your breath, to your body, to this moment. What's present for you as you breathe in? What's present as you breathe out? Tracking the pendulum in our bodies between contraction and expansion. Starting with your breath. Breathing in, filling your body, opening up your chest. Breathing out, noticing that we let go. We contract in a little bit, our shoulders move in a little bit. So as we track the movement of our breath in and out, notice the pendulum between fear and curiosity. Fear is often a pulling it in, let's get safe, let's put up walls, right? And how notice, I'm not saying invite in fear at the moment, it'll come soon enough without our invitation. And notice like what happens in your body. It's like slow down, take a breath and say, ooh, okay, what does it feel like when I'm afraid? And what does it feel like when I'm curious, when I'm leaning in, when I'm opening up, when I'm expanding my chest, when I'm looking out like in wonder and awe and curiosity, when I'm like inviting in things to be different, things not to be predictable. So track the difference between difficulties in your life when things are unknown and kind of stressful, when it takes you into old trauma, old events that are sort of guiding our actions in this moment. Apparently, the only fear that we're born with is the fear of falling. Everything else after that is learned. So what have we learned? I was reminded when a friend, this is actually a very funny, for me, example of a little fear, nothing terribly traumatic, very easy to track. But when a friend said, I'm going to put my tomatoes in today, and I was like, it triggered this fear in me of like when, my mother and my older sister is like, never plant your tomatoes before May 15th, May 7th at the earliest. This was like, for God's sake, May 1st, it's not going to freeze before May 15th. There's absolutely no reason not to plant your tomatoes right now, except for like my whole body going, no, right? I mean, it seems so silly. And at the same time, such a great opportunity to track that, the difference between a fear response and a curious response is like, ooh, what would happen if I ever did that? Um, so, so, uh, so noticing that and 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 the little things like that, definitely easy to track down when that fear response was implanted in my body. And um, memories of a friend that, when was it that, I think, can you imagine? In April, he planted his tomatoes, and I did not say a word when he lost every single one, all 30 plants. And he was curious enough to take a chance to do it and say, like, what'll happen if I get a head start? What'll happen if I get the first tomato in the neighborhood? you know, they're, when you start them all by seed, it's like your babies. And where is that else in my life? Where else do I have that reactivity that might benefit from a little bit more curiosity? That might benefit for being more open and curious, more willing to to take a chance. What would happen if, there's so much that we don't know. When is it recently that somebody said they had a need for predictability? And it is that wanting to be safe, wanting our babies to be safe, our little baby plants, our children, our friends, our loved ones. Of course, we're going to have that fear response. We're going to close in. We're going to grab them and pull them inside and put the rock in front of the cave, right? Just notice it when it happens. Don't judge it as, we can judge it as good or bad. And it's just another judgment. It's just another, like, that's bad, this is good. Those extremes are so not the way life is. So much more complicated. The more in the fear response, the more we're in this black and white response, in that judgment, and this is bad, this is good. And there's very little black and white in the world. Even when you're painting a painting of the world, you're never using black. You're always sort of like, well, it's just really, really dark gray. It's just hard to see stuff when it's black, when it's dark. And being curious, what is that? Just inviting it in. Notice when there's fear. And invite in curiosity about that fear. Curiosity about our ability to just be with. Like, oh, there's that again. Am I falling? No. Well, if I am, it's like, okay, I was born with that fear response. Oh, and the laughter is like, how many times do I have to tell myself, remind myself? And it doesn't matter how many times. It's part of being human. It's part of waking up to our humanity, to what makes us who we are, to other humans. When they lash out at you, it's like, oh, this is a chance I can learn something more about them. This is something alive in them that I don't understand. I can be curious about this. I can lean in to this person baring their teeth against me. I can step out of the way. Oh, okay. I don't want to be in the line of that one. And just be curious about it. Possibly. Starting with our loved ones, it may be less dangerous, maybe more of an investment of energy of finding out more about them. It's like, oh, what's going on here? I lived with you for a long time. There's something in here that's familiar, but I bet I can learn a little bit more about it by just stepping out of the way, checking it out. Taking a breath in, taking a breath out, giving ourselves that pause. And as we offer this blessing to our loved ones, to neutral people, considering neutral people that I wish I treated a little bit better. If you're watching this video, I'm so sorry. Open up to, oh yes, that's that response. Oh, honey, give yourself some compassion. send some compassion towards the way of the neutral person, and maybe call the store later and see if you can give them more an apology, an acknowledgement that's not in only in the ethers. And the ethers is a good start. The ethers is my way of saying just we're putting all this energy out there in the universe of yeah, let's repair when we have a fear response and people haven't gotten out of our ways, you know, and taking this and wanting to offer it to the neutral people that are the politicians for me right now, not the neutral people, the people that I would much rather have different behavior. Very embarrassing behavior sometimes as politicians. And I think that right now all I can do is say, oh, Barbara, this is really uncomfortable for you right now. And wish that they were able to calm their nervous systems and send that blessing. And then send it to all people in the world who are human just like me, that have their own fear response or shame response, often intertwined. Often an anger response is a shame response. And 75% of the reaction is shock, right? Checking the shock. Ah, I didn't expect that. So may all beings benefit from this practice. May you have more intimacy with yourself that you can share with the entire world. Hugs to you all. Mwah. Thanks so much.